Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Happy Sunday. Even though this is Saturday when I'm recording this and want to premiere this on Wait, let's say Happy Sunday. Girl, I don't know. Happy Sunday. I record this on Saturday, but I'm putting it up on Sunday. So I hope everyone is having a good Sunday morning. Okay, this is the Braxton season one. And this is my episode review for episodes 1 and 2 because I did watch last week's episode, but last week's episode felt incomplete and it was real heavy, child. It was real heavy, okay? So I'm like, I'm gonna wait and review episodes 1 and 2 because it do seem like they broke up the first episode into two parts, in my opinion, okay? And so this is not Braxton Family Values, even though I feel like I'm probably mess up and say their name, but this is called the Braxtons, okay? Brand new season, and child, I don't know how this season is gonna go, okay? Because it's already starting in the beginning, okay? My thumbnail says, messiness, child, some silence, the trauma, bad parenting, bad parents, and that go for mama and daddy Braxton, okay? Toxic boundaries, a lot of grief, and a lot of secrets, okay? Good, bad, or indifferent. It's some foolishness going on up in here, okay? But y'all know first things first, please make sure to like the video, subscribe, share the video as well. You can follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Now look, I'm barely gonna be on camera because y'all know I'm not feeling too well. So I'm trying to get myself together, okay? But I got graphics for y'all. I'm here. Hi, I'm hopped up. I'm all hopped up on my end too. I'm hopped up on pain meds with my back stuff and stuff, but I'm here. So, but I feel ugly, you know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to be able to hear me well, okay? So I got all the graphics for y'all to at least see stuff on the camera, okay? Now look, okay, I feel like the Braxton ladies, that is Mama Evelyn, Trina, Toni, Tamar, and Towanda, is up and floating in the sky. It's a lot of things going on, okay? And for the most part, towards the end of episode 2, the whole go between foolishness and fussing between Towanda and Tamar, shall we go get into that, okay? But y'all know first things first, they're back. Okay. Now, one, I did like everybody's confessionals. Okay. Now, Tamar only like she did one confessional because Tamar wants us to believe that she's a friend of the show. So I think she only had like one confessional look. I see Toni only has one confessional look. Mama Evan had two, but I got this the one blue one up here. Trina had two as well, and Towanda had about 3 or 4. Okay, so each episode I may switch it up a little bit. Okay, but I can say, I'm happy to see the ladies back. Even if it is them at odds, you know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that this series, you do still feel Traci. We miss Traci. I like, in my opinion, how the first episode is literally addressing the missing piece in the room, which is Traci. I did wonder how they were going to work around, discuss, tackle that, bit of hardness because child grief is nothing to play with, okay? And I feel like now because this was filmed about 2 years, almost 2 years after Traci passed away, because her 2-year anniversary is coming up. I'm gonna pop off screen. That's one pop off screen. But her 2-year anniversary is coming up. And throughout the whole episode, we do see a lot of different videos, home videos, old episodes. We see Traci all up and through. You know what I'm saying? Is this them really showing Traci? The home footage, as we see here, I only got these two pictures. The home footage was showing the family with Traci, within her last day. Back in 2022, Traci passed away from esophageal cancer. She was diagnosed, and it was stage 3. And as we know, it progressed pretty fast, and she ended up passing away. But so I like the fact that while it was extremely difficult, in my opinion. And that's as a fan of the Braxtons and not me being, the actual family member. So I know it had to be hard for them to watch that. If they watch the episodes, I don't know, but to watch that stuff back, I feel like we were blessed enough for them to share those moments of Traci with us. Even seeing Traci, very sick, from cancer, but still seeing her lively self, still seeing her shake her shimmy, still seeing her like laughing and having a good time with her sisters. Even the fact that everyone came together for Traci. So again, if you have not been watching this show this season for these first two episodes, Traci's very much so a part of the cast and flashbacks in every single episode, and they're not shying away from the conversation of Traci. So we see the beginning, well, at least episode one, started off with not Traci, girl, Trina and Vaughn, who's been married at this point for 5 years now. They talking about how the show. Now the show, the Braxton family values had ended 3 years prior. And Trina was saying how she thought once Traci passed away, it would bring the family closer. But it kind of did the opposite. And she said she feels as if nobody's really, getting closer. Nobody is really discussing, talking about Traci dying. Now, another reason why I feel like this episode was harder for me, yeah, because my bio father just passed. Bio father passed on July 15th. His birthday was then on August 5th. Then my dad, who raised me, birthday is today, August 17th. It's been, he passed away 9 years ago. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Then I'm getting sick in my back and all these things or whatever. So these first two episodes were very child emotional, very heavy to deal with. And Traci and Trina saying, no one is really talking about Traci being gone. And I don't think people realize you do have to have, well, don't have to, but a lot of people sometimes do want to discuss the person gone. And if you feel like you have no one to discuss that with, mainly your siblings who also lost the same, girl, my bump on my face, who lost a sibling as well, it can be very, very lonely. And so Trina, you can tell Trina is very much so grieving. She is still fully, and grief never goes away. It never goes away. But the first year of grief, I always say it's like you're in a haze. You're in a fog, a haze. And the first year, some people get some people come out of the fog like 3-4 months in. Sometimes it's 6 months in. But Trina is still in that fog. And for her, it's as if Traci just died. And she is still actively in the haze of that loss. And everybody come about that haze at different times. I'm saying, because we call our life, my dad passed away back in 2015. We said it's this weird new normal. Um, and one day we woke up, we're like, wait a minute, where have we been the past 6 months? Because it was this haze, this fog of just grief that you're just so caught up in, nothing seems real. And Trina is still kind of caught up in that. I'm saying we do see Trina talk about how Lil Kevin and Big Kevin don't talk as often, but Lil Kevin is a grown man with a wife, well, about to be ex-wife, and a child. So I feel like, but I like how she said, I have to give Big Kevin grace because he lost his wife. So while it is hard because Lil Kevin has seemingly lost his mom and his dad, because his dad is grieving so bad he can't be close to Lil Kevin. I also feel like sometimes when adults lose people, I thought she was saying like they're in the same house and they're not talking. Not like Lil Kevin lives somewhere else and they're just not as communicative as they could be, should be, would be. Because again, he lost his mom, he lost his wife. It's a whole child mess. But I love the fact that Trina gave Big Kevin grace, even though she wishes he was closer, talk to more, look Kevin, and they don't really get into any specific. They don't dive deep into it. You just know it's something going on around there. Okay. But that was sad, sad, sad. Now let me pop off screen. Now, We do see, Mama E and together and whatnot. And this was the first time they all had got together. That was, Towanda, Trina, Tamar, and Toni, and Mama E having a little dinner or whatever. Toni at this point was prepping for her Las Vegas show, her and setting the entertainer. How she was nervous because she had not performed in 15 months. Toni had a health scare. She had to get a stent put in her heart about a year ago. She had not told the family about it at all. Um, she said because for her, the last big, medical thing, medical news was that Traci had cancer, and then Traci died. It's like I'm nervous just to tell them how kind of crazy things are right now. And then they do have a conversation about, when they found out Traci had cancer, and when the last time they showed Braxton family values. They had all went to, I think, LA to visit with Toni. And so we find out that, like, at that last scene, they all shot sitting around that Traci was complaining about how bad her throat hurt. And they said, girl, when you get back home, go to the doctor. And then she went and she found out she had cancer, stage 3, and how for them it did not seem real when she said, I got cancer. Toni brings up how it was hard for her because, Tracy said, I was always doing with sick. I had lupus, I was the sick one. So it's not fair. How is Tracy the one who also was sick and then she actually dies? Okay. And when Tamar said, I think y'all need some grief counseling. Mama E says she thinks Trina needs it the most, and Trina does. Trina absolutely needs it the most. Because again, Trina was there with Traci when Traci took her last breath. We then find out again that look, Kevin's going through a divorce, which shocks Tamar because she felt like, why didn't I know? Why didn't nobody tell me? Why didn't I know? And bloop, bloop. I was like, girl, sometimes ain't about you, okay? And Tamar feels Tamar feels like what? Oh, Tamar feels like she don't be knowing stuff. She be feeling like people don't tell me stuff. She feel like, well, if little Kevin getting divorced, why didn't anyone tell me? And they said that was up to we don't know why he didn't tell you whatever. She said I'm always around little Kevin. So we be going out to dinners. That's why I asked with Kevin. Okay, so we had that whole thing. Toni then tells them about her having the heart procedure, how she almost died, and how the doctor told her, we caught this right in time. Okay, had you not came in, had this not happened, it could have been a whole widowmaker. You know, this and that and that and this or whatever, and how they told her that eventually she would need a heart bypass because if she was to have some kind of heart attack, her heart would not be able to take it. Child, that's why I told y'all when I was having a pain in my back and it felt like it was in my chest and my heart. I said, "Bitch, go to the go to the ER," because you do not want to play around when you feel pains in your chest because you never know. Okay, go ahead, Ryan. That better safe than sorry. And so Toni like broke down crying, like, I'm scared. This tour, I'm scared because what if I do exert myself too much? What if I do get over whatever? And my heart can't take it, and I die. I go like my kids, and she was girl. I was like, oh my god, okay. It was just so emotional. And so for Toni, she said, losing Traci and then her situation, whatever, it is, she's now scared. Like, what if I die? Like, it happened to Traci, it can happen to me. I'm sick. And the doctor said, blah, blah. It was hot. They had me, girl, Toni had me crying, Jesus, because, you know, she said, I'm scared every day. I'm scared every day. And I'm like, no, Toni. And it was amazing how they all kind of rallied around Toni and was supportive, spoke life to Toni. And with just good vibes and all that stuff. Okay. We then see a little quick scene of Towanda and Trina having drinks. Towanda speaks about her loop now. Towanda speaks about her alopecia because she has the bald head now, and she said people thought that she was sick, and that's why she shaved her head. She said it wasn't that she was sick. All of the sisters, when Traci got sick and she ended up losing her hair, they all agreed to shave their heads. And if you think back, there was a time when Toni had her hair cut very, very low. Towanda had the bald head, and so did Tamar. So we now know they all did that in solidarity for Traci. Now Trina said she did not shave her head. She said, because I don't have the same facial structure as y'all do. I would look dumb with a bald head. So she's like, I couldn't do it. Okay. But Towanda did, and Towanda also has alopecia. And she spoke about how she always wore wigs to cover the bald spots, and how she was always wondering or worried that people wouldn't like her if they knew she had alopecia and saw her head and her bald spots. And so we see like a flashback scene of back in from 2022 where Traci is sick, you know, she's sick, and you see her hands are very thin, but she's rubbing Tawanda's head. You can and Tawanda is like she's shaved her head at this point, but you can see like the patches in Tawanda's hair from her alopecia. And Trina was now, Tracy would just rub Tawanda's head. It's like, it's okay, Umba. It's okay. And like even in Traci being sick, even her still trying to be loving to Towanda, who had shaved her head, and she said, "So when I shaved my head, I just never grew it back, and I just stopped wearing wigs." And she just embraced her bald head, and so that was a whole, amazing piece of them showing us again that little stuff of them showing us, just tidbits of Traci. They do call Kevin on FaceTime. He brings by he's having a hard time. He's doing okay. How his wife filed for divorce, but she also braided his hair, so he's confused on what she wants to do. He like, I'm going through a lot and losing my mom, not losing my wife or whatever. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. And they mentioned how they're gonna go to a grief counselor and ask if he wants to be a part of it. He said yes. Okay. Now they do end up going to see a grief counselor. You hear me? And it's the lady right there in the corner, like where she at down there. So that is the little counselor. So again, it was all the sisters. They also had Daddy Braxton and little Kevin on video chat at the time and everything. So the day of grief counseling, Tamar said, "So what's the objective of us doing this? Like, what's the objective and whatnot?" Okay. And Trina said, "Well, each person like is their own individual thing. Like whatever, like what do you want to get from today?" And Tamar said, "Well, I'm here for this support. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for moral support because I've already been in counseling or whatever." And Trina's like, we know grief counseling is different than regular counseling. And I've been to regular counseling too. However, this is different. Trina brings up how the lady they're going to see, Miss Spirit, is a lady who she saw when Gabe passed away. And she said when Gabe passed away, and that's when she first talked to Miss Spirit, that she was very, very helpful at the time, even though she wasn't ready to hear what Miss Spirit was saying to her. It eventually helped her because she remembered stuff that Spirit said, and it helped her in her grief. And that's the thing. Gabe died at 43 from cancer. So losing your ex-husband to cancer, Gabe and Trina were still cool. Even at that point, Trina had already remarried Ron when Gabe passed away, but her and Gabe, they were good friends. So for her, losing Gabe was also very painful. And so again, she said, like, I wasn't ready to deal with grief at the time. However, she ended up still helping me. So that's who we seen today. And that's Miss Spirit right there in the corner. Okay. When Spirit asked, like, what do you feel like, y'all need help with? And Trim like, well, I don't want to go first because I'm not ready. I said, man, what you do? What y'all here? Like, y'all, like, that's why my thumbnail thing say silent sister trauma. Because the crazy thing about it is they were all so quiet. Each of them. Okay, at first. Mama Evelyn, Toni, all of them was quiet. I said, "What y'all here for? Why y'all calling me? Like, what? No, why nobody talking?" Okay, and I was like, that's why I said episode 1 felt incomplete because I'm like, no one is saying anything. And then when Spirit says to them, "We know this is an FYI. I hope y'all know that this is the no judgment zone." Okay, I'm not here to pit anyone against each other. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to create any kind of conflict or I'm not here to create conflict or say anyone is the problem. However, she said the problems are the problems, and it's up to y'all, to each one of y'all, to or the family as a family to work through things or whatever. And I can't help nobody if y'all don't say what the problems is. And that's how episode 1 ended. So I was like, that don't feel final. I can't just do that. Okay, let's get on to episode 2. Okay, now in episode 2, we see it starts out with Mama Evelyn saying how she felt. She said, for me, it was hard for me to lose my daughter. Seeing her in so much pain, seeing her suffering, seeing her so sick. She said, however, I am at peace because my child is no longer in pain. And she said, and I did pray for Traci to no longer be in pain. And child, my grandmama said the same thing about my dad who passed away just last month. She was like, I feel guilty because my grandma is crazy. But my grandma said, when Ronnie called her and said how much pain he was in, that she did pray, God take the pain away from my son. She said, I felt guilty as if, did I say kill him? I said, no, grandma, his heart gave out. You know what I'm saying? So Mama Braxton saying, I prayed for God to take her pain away because Traci was in so much pain towards the end. She said, it's my daughter. I almost lost her, I think like 3 times as a kid, like when I was pregnant with her or whatever. And she's like, but this time I couldn't save her. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, no one wants to bear the child and this and that and that and this. So, but Mama Evelyn seemed to be at peace. Like, yes, I miss my child. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, it's hard. However, the saving grace for me is that my child who I saw suffering ain't suffering no more. Okay. And I respect that because I came to that conclusion when my dad died back in 2015 because he was also in pain. Child, he had back issues, he had surgery, he all these things or whatever. And like about 2 weeks after he died, a calmness came over me, and I was like, he not in pain no more. And I was like, he is not in pain no more. And that's what helped me be able to move through my grief, was because I was like, he had peace. You know what I'm saying? And so Mama E seemed to have that. And again, we see the footage of Traci with the family. The brother was also there too. So the different photographs and different videos they showed was of all different times, different days, different events of them sitting around playing cards, sitting around with her in the bed, sitting around watching television. This is them spending time with Traci. To that point, Traci was bedridden. You saw her, I think she was either in the hospital bed or like in a chair, but at home. So she was like going anywhere, and stuff. But this scene, and we're not even seeing and knowing the last days of Traci's life, that she was surrounded by her sisters, her parents, her spouse, her child, her brother, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of laughter, good time with the whole family. And I think we all knew that's what Traci loved. When Toni and them said how they would all take turns being there, they will always fly in, and this and that and that and this. Because in some scenes you would see it was like one or two of them there, and sometimes you'll see all of them there. How they all made a conscious effort to be there, period. Okay, and Toni brings up how the doctors, they kept saying that Traci had like, oh, she has like 2 days to live. And so they kept preparing, like, oh my gosh, she's gonna die. And they said, but she kept living. And they said, like, for months, they would say, she's on her last leg and she just stayed alive, and kept living. And so Trina brought up how for her, it was one of the hardest things having to watch Traci go through that. She said, however, I would go through it all again because it's like, I think was seeing Traci that sick was hard. However, being there for Traci is what she would always do again. Okay, point blank. And so when Trina then bring up how Trina broke down. Trina absolutely needs more counseling. You know, she needs the grief counseling. Because sitting there, and Trina was the most vocal person there. I feel like in this episode, she fully expressed even she really expressed her issues and how, and she was bawling, crying, but still talking. And she said, Towanda told me that I wasn't strong enough to be there for Traci when Traci died. And I told her, you don't know what you're talking about. I am strong enough. And she's like, but I wasn't strong enough. And she broke down crying, saying how, I watched the life, I watched the life leave her body. And she said, so now she keeps seeing that. And how now she realized she wasn't strong enough. Towanda was right. And Towanda like, I know my sister. I know Trina, and I know Trina is sensitive, and that will scar her for the rest of her life. So I tried to tell her, but Trina took it as like, which I can be here. What you mean? And so Trina and Mama Evelyn were the ones that were there with Traci when she took her last breath. And Trina was like, I relive Traci's life leaving her body every day. I see it. I see her in that green kimono. I see this and I see it. And I was like, damn. And it's like, I've been just eating my emotions. I've been eating and drinking my feelings and everything. And even though she was saying that they was laughing because it was funny, but also for real. Like, if I want to eat, I can do that because I'm just eating the feelings, you know what I'm saying? Because the food makes me feel satisfied. So if I'm gaining weight, it's because I'm eating away and blah, blah. Because again, her thing is, I am every day living with the trauma, grief, and the just shock of reliving my sister dying every day for 2 years. And she's like, and she said, I drink because it helps me separate myself from my reality of even going to bed. Because when I go to bed, I see Traci in my sleep. I can't sleep at night because I don't want the dark to cover me. I don't go to sleep until the morning times and when it's daylight outside, and I don't sleep that much because again, when the darkness comes, I see Traci, and so I keep seeing Traci die. And I'm like, that was child. I said, Trina for sure needs more grief counseling. And I feel like when she said on the first episode how no one wants to talk about Traci dying, I think she mean that in the aspect of because I was there when it happened. And so how they feel about Traci dying is different from me because I saw her die. And I've had to hold that feeling in for the past 2 years, which I'm tired. Okay. And I'm like, we can see it's grief. It's grief. Okay, again, grief and silent sister trauma is exactly what it is. You know, and she's like, I just don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do. What do I do? And she was just, I don't know what to do with it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And and I said, ugh. She said, I can't be in silence because like the noises in my head, I can't deal with it. So I can't be in silence because you know it's a no. Okay. No, and I fully get it because sometimes you don't want to be alone with your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And the lady, the conference spirit lady said, this is what progress looks like, is you voicing what you feel. Because you've been holding it in and eating it. What a voicemail. You've been holding it in and child, I'm trying to record a thing. I'm always call me. I'm like, why should leave me a voicemail? So y'all gonna see this on the thing. Hello? You call me? Yeah, you call me? Oh, yeah, I'm recording the video. That's what I'm recording, so they'll hear me saying, why don't I leave me a voicemail? So I'm gonna call you back in like 20 minutes. I love you. Okay. Sure, I went home. She was checking on me. I'm gonna leave that in. But a spirit told her this is what progress looks like because you are finally expressing what you feel, and this is what you have to do. She's like, but you're not only dealing with grief, you also have PTSD. And she had PTSD from seeing Traci die. And she may not have realized that she had PTSD. And she said the food and alcohol are you self-medicating your grief and stress. And this is how it starts. Okay. Trina then brings up how Tamar honored Traci at one of her concerts and how bad it made Trina feel. Not bad, how emotional it made Trina, and she didn't even get how Tamar was able to keep performing. Tamar said, "Well, that's how I grieve. That's how I handle my grief, and whatever." Okay, and when the lady asked Towanda, "Well, Towanda, how do you cope with your grief?" And she said, "For me, I handle death and grief differently. I feel like, energy and your spirit never dies. So for me, I know Tracy is not here physically. However, she's still here, just not in a physical form. How, I have my hard moments, of course, but I still feel like I have moments with Tracy and her energy is always around me." And when she asked all of them, like, "Well, how do y'all all feel as a unit? As a sisterhood?" Trina said, "Well, I feel like everybody, went to their own corner. Like Tracy died, and everyone went to their own separate corner of the world, and we were not close anymore. The closest we had just went away, and I really miss what Tracy brought to all of us. You know what I'm saying, to all of us." And Toni said how she had even said before to Mama Evelyn, and I think to maybe their brother too, how Tracy was the glue, but no one realized it until she was gone. That she was the glue that kind of held them all together. And so now that she's gone, it's different. And Toni also said how for her, she's in this angry stage of grief. Because she's like, I be suppressing my grief or whatever, but I'm the big sister, so I have to. I've always felt like that's my job. And Spirit said, "Well, you don't have to do that. You do." She said, "Well, no, no, no. That's just how I've always felt. I'm angry right now. I was angry that I have lupus, but Tracy died. How is it that I did not die first? It's unfair that my sister did and not me." And then Toni says how she kind of just goes into her music and she kind of just self medicates through her music, that it gives her inner peace, and that's what has helped her. But Toni did say she felt like her parents did a great job of teaching them how to be together, but did not do the best job letting them live their own lives as individuals. So at times they all felt like, each there's actually she said they felt like there's them as siblings were more important than like their kids, because our parents raised us to say, "Hey, it's family, y'all family, and that comes first." And so Toni said, they didn't really teach us how to be individuals. It was us as siblings. And so now they don't know how to handle one person being gone. I said, first of all, bad parenting. For me, bad parents was the fact that Mama Braxton and Daddy Braxton, their divorce ruined them. Periods. And I feel like a lot of toxic sibling rivalry went unchecked because mom and daddy are already beefing from the divorce. And so the antics of the kids kind of got this job swept up under the rug. And that's why they're at odds so much. Now we do see one little part when little Kevin is around there on the camera thing, and he said how it's hard for him. He lost his wife, he lost his mom. He's just dealing with a lot right now. And then he kind of steps away, like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." And he walks off camera, and then you hear, because he's mic'd, so you hear people talking. Tamar say, "That's not the police. Is the police in his house?" And then Towanda say, you know, that look, have to explain that. You can tell that Towanda and Trina know something, but you can also tell none of them are trying to say it on camera. And I feel like, take my opinion, Tamar sometimes is not aware. Some things they not trying to say on camera. That's what I got from them saying, them not saying whatever was going on. Okay. And so Towanda, Mama Evelyn told Towanda, because Kevin look him come back, he said, "I gotta go." Then, but he don't say what's going on. So Mama Evelyn then told Towanda, "Go call look Kevin, see what's going on." Towanda called, see what's going on. So it was the police or whatever. And as Tamar's complaining, now they're on the couch, right? Okay. And Tamar is upset because she feel like y'all have secrets y'all ain't told me. You know, y'all all these secrets. I'm irritated because all these secrets, no one called me and told me nothing. And you can tell that Trina's trying to say because she didn't say it, this ain't the time or the place. Okay. But Tamar, to me, is childish. And sometimes she don't know how to just kind of fuck down and know we'll talk about it off camera, because to me, whatever it was, they just did not want to address it on camera. Because again, Lil Kevin walked off camera to talk to police. Towanda walked off camera to call them. You know what I'm saying? And so Tamar trying to have it all come out on camera. I'm like, girl, just stop. Okay, just calm down. But seeing Trina tap Tamar, no, Tamar seeing Trina tap Toni, then made Tamar say, I'm aggravated. I'm irritated. I don't like it. And Trina said, you can be upset all you want to. However, this is Lil Kevin business. And okay, this ain't the forum to have the conversation. Okay, if Lil Kevin didn't call you and tell you what's going on, I can't tell you that. And I was like, to me, that is an auntie respecting her nephew's boundaries. And not only that, bitch, we on camera. Calm down. And if he haven't told you, it's okay. But right now, we not even on Lil Kevin. We can't get there. He in Maryland. We here. Can't do nothing. So that was the whole thing of Tamar again. To me, feeling like no one wants to include me. And it's like, but it's Lil Kevin's, that's Lil Kevin business. You can't be pissed at your sister because he told one, because Toni didn't know what's going on. And Toni did say, I get how Tamar feel like, because she's the youngest, she's the baby. Sometimes we don't tell her to not bother her. I get that. I get it, but child, it's going on. It's going crazy. And so when Lady Spirit then said, okay, so what happened here? Because the whole room energy changed. And in my opinion, it's because Tamar felt like no one was telling her anything was going on. Towanda walked away and was on the secret phone call. And Trina was and like Toni said, everyone got defensive at the same moment. And that just switched the vibe in the room. Okay. He said, everyone here got defensive, all of us. And that just switched things. Okay. Still, but I don't know why the cops there. I don't know either. Okay. And when Towanda come back, she says, yes, the police were there. He has a warrant. We don't know what the warrant's for. Someone, an anonymous caller called the police, told the police where Kevin would be, and they went and arrested him, which made Towanda say someone set him up. Someone who was upset for whatever reason. They probably trying to say it was his ex-wife, but told the police where he was and told them, hey, he has a warrant. He has a warrant. He's here. So he was like taken to the jail or whatever, and they got to figure out what's going on later. But I think the point was, we're not trying to put this on camera because Lil Kevin is not really on the show, in my opinion, or whatever. So I get trying to protect your nephew, okay? And then I was like, child, okay. So they're like, you know what? We need to have a Lil Kevin thing, whatever. So we probably should come together later to, talk again on the Greek concert. Tamar said, why? For what? And Toni said, because the energy is off. You know what I'm saying? And, we do need to, continue, working on things and everything or whatever. And Tamar said, look, I have been a accountant already and I have my boundaries and, I only move to what's best for me and my mental health and my kid. And I have my boundaries set up and I don't let anybody get through them. Okay. And so Tamar says in the group, okay, that it no longer serves her to beg for sisterhood, for friendship, for time, or any of that with her siblings. And Toni said, well, I'm sorry if you ever felt like you were begging for time or sisterhood. I never wanted you to go that way. I'm truly sorry if it ever came off that way. And we do see a flashback from 2013 where Tamar is saying to the girls, to Toni, how I'll reach out and call and no one will call back, or I'll ask to hang out and y'all will say no or don't answer. So Tamar has always felt like they don't really be trying to be around her. But this is my thing too as well with Tamar. I feel like Tamar has a lot to handle. And sometimes I feel like because of that, I do feel like sometimes they don't want to be around Tamar. And when they are around her, and it's great, it's great. But I do think that's the reason. And so that's why Tamar feels that way. Like she's a valid reason to feel the way because that's what has happened. But I also feel like it's part of because sometimes Tamar is a whole lot to take in. And Toni says, like, I don't get my sister sometimes. Okay. But I wish Tamar could be more open, more vulnerable, and communicate better to let us know like what she means and how she feel because we don't know sometimes and it'd be like weird or whatever. And so Trina said, look, first of all, Tamar, 9 times out of 10 of you call or text me or whatever, I come. And Tamar said, well, that's true. So Trina's point was you keep saying I have to beg y'all, and it ain't really y'all. Say who you talking to, because it ain't me. Okay, Traci dead. It ain't Toni. It's Towanda. So Towanda and Trina, I'm sorry, Towanda and Tamar, in my opinion, they just don't like each other. You know what I'm saying? They love each other. And when they have good moments, it's good moments. But Tamar and Towanda have issues. They have toxic boundaries between them. It's some messy shit between them. And I think it's both of their faults. I feel like, in my opinion, Tamar has been aggravating, which makes Towanda feel some kind of way about her and pushes her away. And sometimes it's like, whatever, bitch. Mean. However, sometimes Tamar is an aggravating little sister, and it's like, bitch, gone. So I think that's just their dynamic. And I feel like both of them have boundaries for each other, but feel like when Towanda said, look, you have to respect a person's boundaries, you know, and until that person is willing to move forwards differently from the boundaries they set up, I'm good. And what that meant to me was me and Tamar, we know how he is. She know how she is. That's our boundary, and I ain't trying to change it. She ain't trying to change, and neither am I. Okay. So, but I'm like, sometimes I wish Towanda would say things clearly. You know what I'm saying? But as Tawanda's talking, Tamar kind of cut her off, being funny, acting or whatever. Let's be honest. They don't care. They don't care. And I'm like, why y'all not? Who was they? Just say Towanda. Because it's really Towanda and it was Towanda and Towanda and Tamar back and forth in it. Okay. And because you really didn't hear much from Trina or with Toni high. I think she was high. Anyway, Towanda said, look, it ain't that I don't care. The feeling I have is I'm numb. It's not a negative numbness. It ain't a positive numbness, okay? It's not no black feeling. I'm just numb because it is what it is. Tamar then says, maybe the feeling's mutual. Keep it gangster, dog. I said, not keep it gangster. Again, Tamar and Towanda just do not get along. Again, they love each other as sisters. They do. However, they be at odds. It's not really Tawanda's fault. It's not really Tamar's fault. It's just the dynamic of their sisterhood because Tamar is the aggravating sister. Towanda is the kind of serious whatever sister, and it just don't mesh well. You know what I'm saying? And so Towanda said, look, I just don't engage. Because to me, Tamar was being immature, over talking to Towanda, trying to speak for Towanda. I didn't like that. But again, that's their dynamic. And when Towanda said, I don't engage, I make different choices in life. And I respect where people are, and that's it. Okay. I don't pour into certain energies. Meaning when Tamar get like that, I'm not getting in that shit. Okay. Girl, Tamar laughed all loud. This is TV. Oh, this is TV. Because outside of yesterday, when was last time you talked to me? And Twana said, well, I don't remember. It's been a while. I know it wasn't my birthday. You didn't call me. Okay. Your birthday was in September. It is March. I was like, either way go, y'all ain't talked. Okay. And I'm just like, girl, when Towanda said, look, I'm in the space of focusing on my relationship, who's in my household, my children, and that's it. Tamar said, "Oh, so you don't talk, but you talk to Trina and Toni, and she's but now because we tape, you talk to me." And she said, "No, Trina and Toni call me. They call me. When I call, you don't answer." She said, "No, no, no, no. If you call me, if you text me, I answer and I respond." Tamar then said, "No, you don't." She said, "Tamar, you lying." No, 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 she did. She said, "Tamar, no, no." She did not say Tamar was lying. She said, "No. If you call me, I answer. You text me, I respond. The same way I do with Trina and Toni." Timberland said, "That ain't true. You called me a liar." I didn't call you a liar. You called yourself a liar. I was like, messy, messy, back and forth, back and forth. Because why? Tamar and Towanda do not get along. And I saw folks saying that Towanda was jealous of Tamar, her success. I don't believe that. Because when Tamar was doing things, she would be cheering for them. I don't think it has anything to do with either of them being jealous. I think they just do not get along. The same way Traci and Tamar, the child, was beefing sometime. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with anyone being jealous of Tamar. Tamar is an acquired taste, the same way as each of them are. And when you are a family of five, 6 kids, child, it's going to be sibling rivalry, you know? And so Mama Evelyn said, "I'm sick of this. I'm sick and tired. And y'all act like enemies." You know what I'm saying? Life is so short. I've already lost a daughter. You know what I'm saying? What if one of y'all died tomorrow? Y'all around here fussing. Okay, life is short. You can't keep doing this shit. I can't take it no more. Okay, what is wrong with y'all? Traci told y'all if y'all keep arguing, she will haunt y'all because it's not. I'm like, well, Traci, girl, they was always arguing. That's just what it is. Okay, I mean, you do hope that when someone passed away, it brings folk closer, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Because before the person passed away, they was already beefing for you. Tamar and Towanda's, sibling rivalry, which in my opinion has nothing to do with Towanda being jealous. It's just that's their dynamic. That was their dynamic as kids, teenagers, and not as adults. The difference is on television. And Mama like, I am fed up. She got up and walked away. I am the mother, not a fixer, and I will not allow y'all to kill through drop food. This. Now, first of all, again, I blame Mama and Daddy Braxton. They were so caught up in their bullshit. Their kids been beefing for years. Spirit told them, look, I hope we can get together sometime and get it fixed because, y'all all have to do the work to change. And it would take all of y'all to, to acknowledge and hold yourself accountable for the role you played in the demise of the sisterhood. It ain't just one of y'all, it's all of y'all. And child, Toni, too goddamn quiet. You the oldest to do something. Okay, Tamar, stop being so childish. Towanda, maybe calm down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Trina, child, just go see some counseling. Go get some counseling, Trina. Anyway, y'all, that was episodes 1 and 2. I hope y'all enjoyed our review. Next week, I will do one episode. Okay, one episode. Y'all know, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all know there's always other videos up, so be sure to check out my latest 2 videos. I did Love at the Lockup. We had a chat as well. By the time y'all see this, I may already have up Love and Marriage Huntsville or maybe a gossip chat. I don't know. But y'all should be around here checking out the content. Okay? So yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe. But until next time, y'all, have a good one. I gotta go. I love you all. Bye.